Please give it up for the truly fabulous Michelle Visage!
So before we start, like I said, just know that we're gonna talk. We're gonna do all of that after we talk here. We're gonna have fun, and thank you all for being here. Honestly, these tickets sold in like Spice Girl record time. So thank you for that. I appreciate you all coming here and being here and hearing me talk. Your support has been amazing through Strictly and, of course, through Drag Race UK. And we're so excited to come back and film Series 2 of Drag Race UK. And it's so funny because so many queens that were like, that show's gonna tank, that's gonna suck, they're not gonna do it right, nobody auditioned, and now they're like, brrr, we got over 2,000 auditions in the first week. So just know, Series 2 is on and it will be cracking. But now we're gonna talk about Twitter, which I first joined in 2008, and I wasn't sure what to expect. There's a lot of young people here, and I still think young people, are you drinking beer? Do they have alcohol in here? Cheers, okay. Bottoms up. Not that way, no. This, yes. What's it called? Sassy beer? I love sassy beer. I don't even drink. That's amazing. Okay. So anyway, back to Twitter. So when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, okay. And then I thought, let me check it out. So I'm over 100,000 posts in. I think you could say that I'm converted. But I did start because I had heard the hype. And, everybody's talking about it. There's 140 characters. I didn't know what a character was. Is that a letter? Is that what that means? I didn't know what it was. So I was thinking when I saw it, I was like, okay, what can I do in 140 characters? I became hooked instantly, never looked back. I actually won a WOWY award. If you don't know what that is, World of Wonder is the production company that does Drag Race, and they have their own awards. I won a WOWY award for Best Twitter, so there's that. Yes, I know. I instantly fell in love with Twitter. As you know, maybe a lot of you are here tonight from seeing it on Twitter. I talk to as many people as I can on Twitter, for better or for worse. I do the best that I can. And like I said, in the beginning, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea if people would get me. I am sassy like your beer. I'm very vocal. I'm very opinionated. I like to consider myself open-minded, but sometimes people don't get it, especially without inflection, because I'm a really inflectious person. Is that? You can steal it, go on. Then, @OtherPhilip got me. Two of the many things we adore about Michelle Visage. Number one, she's American. Number two, she has a big mouth. Indeed, I do. Thank you, @other_Philip. I was shocked to see that not just people were passively following me, but a community was building around me. I have, hands down, the best followers in the world. And ironically, it's difficult to get followers on Twitter. If you look at some of the biggest names on other social media platforms, they can kind of build up easily. On Twitter, you have to work for it. You have to be smart, you have to be quick, you have to be funny, cunning, all those words. So I have fought for every single one of my followers, and I have the best followers in the world. I'm really a very proud ally, as you know, of the LGBTQIA+ community, and that they have supported me and supported each other. So it was emotional to see that I'd done something good, and me speaking out and fighting for my corner and my beliefs reached others and meant something to them as well. Twitter's an instant response, for better or for worse. It's also a pretty decent marketing tool if you use it the right way, which is not always done the right way, as you know. So when I was doing morning radio, if you didn't know, if you guys are new to me from Strictly, I did breakfast radio in the States for 17 long years through 2 pregnancies, and being a woman in that industry, I was able, ready, British people of the world here, I was given 1 week off to have my baby. No joke, 2 C-sections. I was back on the radio in a week, literally freshly cut, like, okay, nobody take my job. But that's kind of how difficult it is, especially being a female in morning radio, but there was no way that somebody was going to come for me. So while on the radio and finding Twitter, I was so amazed by the instant response. It was such an easy way to do what we call focus groups, which are boring, and they give you $25 and some cookies and milk, and they say, do you like this song or do you like this morning show? Push a button. So I could kind of do it my own way by calling out to Twitter, and I loved using that because I felt like people were with me, people heard me, and I could talk to them immediately. Twitter brings you out of your bubble. It allows you to be normal. Having a conversation with a stranger is not the British way. Very American, not British, I know that. But as an American, I'll literally, and a New Yorker, I'll literally talk to anybody at any time doing anything. I'm just that girl. And I've never been an introvert. I've always, I've always been, because RuPaul says he's an introvert masquerading as an extrovert. I've never been an introvert, but I've also never fit in. So I think really early on, I thought, I'm never going to fit in. So if I don't just do what I came to do, life is going to suck. So I started kind of really early talking to anybody, and they'd look at me strangely, and I didn't really care. But with Twitter, suddenly strangers were chatting with me. So I would happily interact with anyone and everyone. I used to waste my time. I want everybody to hear this. Oh my God, I feel like I'm doing like an actual talk. I feel like Tony Robbins right now. I used to waste my time with trolls or hate because I'm very big into not fighting hate with hate, but through education. That's how we're going to help change people's minds or enlighten them or let them expand their minds. So if somebody on Twitter said something hateful about a trans person or about a queer person or even just about something I didn't agree with, I would say, well, how about thinking about it this way? And sometimes I'd be able to open their mind and they'd say, wow, I never thought about it that way. The percentage of that was about 2%. Because really what they were there to do was just attack me back. And I would block. I'm like Wonder Woman with the bracelets. I am blocking left and right. And some days my nails almost breaking from the blocking. And then anybody listen to What's the Tea, my podcast with Rue? Yeah? Thank you. Rue is the one who turned me on to mute. Well, mute changes the game because you'll see them tweet and go, I think she muted me. And sometimes I haven't, I'm just ignoring your ass. But my favorite thing is mute now because with this hate culture, and that's what I call it, because let's use, for example, when I said something to Adore Delano in All Stars 2. Yes, we remember that, right? Now, what I said, I stand by because I've toured with her. She is one of the most amazingly talented human beings on this planet. I knew that I could get more from that, right? So when the whole thing happened, and we love each other so much, and it's very, very good. We have a beautiful relationship. So many people were telling me things like, go kill yourself. You're fat. You're old. You're has-been. You have no career unless it was for Rue. Riding Rue's coat. I mean, the list goes on, right? And as I went into these accounts, they were all like 13-year-old kids with private accounts. And the main thing I noticed would say, like in their header or their bio, blocked by Katya on said date, blocked by RuPaul. So it became a calling card to block, which to me is like, ew, what is wrong with you kids? This is not the society we need to kind of grow the universe. But I realized that blocking them became a calling card. It was like a cool thing. So Rue said, start muting. And I was like, what's mute? And Rue said, well, they don't know that they've been muted. And you're not giving them that calling card. And it is just genius. So I encourage you all to not give the hater, the troll, the angry person who really is just doing it for attention, the attention that they want. Sometimes I will retweet it because it's so ridiculous. Like somebody came from me, I think 2 weeks ago when I was on It Takes Two, and said that me wearing glasses without lenses in them was offensive to people who can't see. Mind you, I have a personal issue with eyewear. If you know me, I have over 700 pairs of eyeglasses. I wear them to see. And normally I wouldn't respond. I literally retweeted and went, huh? Because it didn't even make sense. So I, for the first time, took a pair of glasses and I videoed myself going, Mike, there's a lens in here so I can see. And of course, he deleted it. But the point is, sometimes it's better to just ignore than it is to try to win, because chances are you're not going to win. So back to this, I wanted to focus on love and the love of people who wanted to share their positivity, offering me words of encouragement or even just a hot meal, like at Jake Sampson UK, who said, gutted you never came around for some homemade Jewish chicken soup. Mind you, I'm a vegan, but we'll let him get away with that. You know, it was the thought that counts, and I love that. So most people know me from RuPaul's Drag Race, which has been on for 10 years, which in my opinion is 10 years too many to not have it come to the UK. I did an embarrassing little show 5 years ago called Celebrity Big Brother. And the only reason I entered into that house of hell was to get Drag Race on the map here in this country, because I had performed here so many times. I had known how important it was to gay kids here in the United Kingdom to have their own show that represents them. And yes, the American version is amazing, and it will keep going, I hope forever, until I'm really old. I'm old now, and snatched really tightly. And Rue too. But for me, I knew how important it was. So I didn't have a fake tan range to sell. I didn't have a book at the time, didn't have a calendar. I was just in there to be the voice of queer people, of a queer culture, a generation. Yes, I don't want people to be offended. I am a supposedly heteronormative woman who's been married for 23 years. I've had my past. I am a cisgender woman, but I am a proud ally and advocate of the community and have been for over 30 years. So for me, being a voice for kids who don't have the ability to have that voice was important to me. So just to let you know, it's taken 5 years to get Drag Race made. I think it's so ironic that it ended up on the BBC, of all places. For years, we had tweets from people begging us to bring the show here. Here's one from Patrick Strudwick, the LGBT editor of BuzzFeed UK. I consider it a hate crime that no British TV channel has bought RuPaul's Drag Race. Same, Patrick. I can't tell you. Everybody from Jonathan Ross to Alan, everybody had been trying to help us get it sold, and it took 5 years, but we did it. And then we've got, finally, Rome's, who considers pursuing a new career. I wish Drag Race would come to the UK. Maybe I could finally pursue my dream of pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman, and win it. Takes a little bit more than that, as you can see. And when it was finally announced, the show, was finally announced, the reaction was just incredible. This is from @RemyLee. RuPaul's Drag Race has come to the UK. Feels like Christmas has come early. And Beth Face, no way, kind of makes up for her sentence structure with pure enthusiasm. Shut up. Is Drag Race coming to the UK? BBC, at BBC 3, who do I got to send the flowers at for making this happen? Guys, nothing makes me happier than retweeting with grammatical fixes and asterisks. It's your with apostrophe R-E, sweetheart, my favorite. At it's Amy. Drag Race is coming to the UK. Oh my God, yes. I love our RuPaul's Drag Race family and love that they follow us wherever we are in the world because, again, the reason I would do it is I know how you guys used to watch Drag Race. That's how I watch Benidorm. I get it. So it's very, very difficult. Also funny to see that our US fans were just as confused as Rue. Rue's face was really fun, and I felt really proud when I was like explaining things to him. But the Americans that are watching are like literally watching Drag Race UK to see the UK queens bring the British fierce in 3 minutes, and I may be Googling some translations. That's at Fitties too. And then, of course, one of my favorite memes, at Alim Karaj. Americans trying to understand the references in Drag Race UK. Absolutely, 100%. At Leonardo XCX, Americans trying to understand the British slangs of Drag Race UK. What's happening? What's happening? I love watching Rue try to understand the Scouse accent. And then with Cheryl there and then the Geordie, it was just... Gotta kind of see Rue's face glaze over. And then I'm like, I got you, don't you worry. And of course, I must also touch upon the Strictly Come Dancing community because it's a whole new community for me. At at Queen NC. Oh my God, Michelle Visage and Giovanni Pernice doing Etta James. I can't deal. My womb is already reproducing. This is going to be lots of fire. It was lots of fire. 4 9s for that American Smooth Foxtrot. Yep. But yet somehow still in the bottom 2. Not bitter. Not bitter. It's no secret that I love being part of the show, guys. Doing Strictly. I didn't do Dancing with the Stars because I wanted to do Strictly. For many, many reasons. I love this country so very much. I feel like I belong here. I feel like I'm home here. I feel like one of you, and I'm grateful for that. But also, Dancing with the Stars got really kind of crazy over the past few years with like in the middle of a foxtrot and then twerking, and it was like, okay, no. And what I love about Strictly, it was very pure. It was like, if I'm going to learn how to foxtrot, I'm going to learn how to foxtrot. So I really held out for that. So I had the most incredible experience when I got to dance with the hottest guy in the world. A little bit young, but still hot. But one thing is for sure, I know after doing it, and I know in my heart that I left the show after performing one of the most important dances of my life. The Twitter community showed me and Giovanni so much support for our dance. It was the most loving, supporting battle cry for me, and I know 10,000%, if that's a percent, that I did the right thing this week, and I wouldn't change it for anything because I couldn't think of anything worse than leaving for samba rather than leaving on my terms, doing something that's never been done. Yeah. I'm so proud that I could do that and make a statement for my community. So, at Idaniosaurus, that's cute. I was living for that Vogue. All of my votes went to Michelle Visage for this week's Strictly Dance. You did us all proud, Mama. I am so blessed and so grateful that Twitter has created this positive connection. I connect with people 24/7 on Twitter. Friends with people that I admire, people that I'm a fan of, I've become friends with on Twitter, or just simply lovely people like all of you all here. So if you follow me, you fall into at least one of those categories. And although my biggest supporter is my husband, and you could have seen him, well, he better be anyway. You would have seen him if you follow me because he really is awkward, doesn't know what to say in Twitter because it's kind of new to him. Ironically, he's a writer, so I think it's really funny. At John Boy Hastings says, I propose that the British LGBT Awards honor Michelle with an outstanding contributor. Am I reading it? Reading it is really small. Thank you. Outstanding Contribution Award for her tireless commitment and fierce dedication as a proud ally. My husband, here, here. Thanks. Very deep, honey. There he is supporting me. See, I told you. My second favorite person I follow apart from my husband is Cher. Yes? Does everybody follow Cher? Yeah. Because apart from being the ultimate goddess, she is fiercely political at Cher. I'm not sure president is the learn-on-the-job kind of job. She's hilariously self-deprecating. How is it possible that I'm over 100 years old and I still get the giggles? And she really knows how to self-promote. I heart this box and what's inside. Absolutely, if you don't follow her, you need to follow her. A lot of it is nonsensical, but that's the point, because she's trying to smash it all in, although we have more characters now so she can breathe. I love her. Twitter also allows me to air my grievances. Okay, guys, this was a moment. I don't know, you all must have experienced this at one point, but the driver's breath is so overwhelming in this car that even breathing through my mouth, I can taste it. I'm not exaggerating. Altoids needed. I know it's gross. I got a lot of people going, why did you have to tweet that? But hear me out. Long day at Strictly. I get into the car. I open the door. I was completely just a wall of breath. I was outside in the freezing cold in London. I get in and I'm like, okay, I could do that magical thing where I could hold my nose and talk, where some people can't do that, but I'm holding my nose now. I was holding my nose. I could chew the breath. So I texted my friend. I said, I'm going to die. I think you might want to tell my husband that I'm not, asphyxiation is real. Not going to make it. I opened every window. It was literally 2 degrees. Everyone is like, are you hot? I'm like, hot flash. Hot flash, just dying. All the way home. And then, it was that bad. So it also allows me to ask the important questions in life. How does Kate Garraway have flawless hair all the time in the jungle? From I'm a Celeb, which as a vegan I shouldn't watch, but it's on there and it was just there. And what the one thing I noticed was, how does her hair look gorgeous? Which of course I get the replies that you're all looking for, and that was from I'm not going to say it. It's too many letters. She gets straighteners hidden in her knickers. That makes sense. Twitter is a safe place where you don't always have to look your best. Now this has potential. This is me in a Yoda sweats. It's a little sweatshirt. What you're missing here in the UK is a store called Target. Whoever has millions, please bring it here because you will be a gazillionaire. I was looking for something for my nephew, and it was this little hoodie, and that was the hood. Didn't fit my head, or else I would have bought it. Twitter's also a place I've declared my loves. Wombats. Wombats. I cried when I met a wombat in Australia. It's a place that I've admitted my fears. Does anybody else fear minions? They're frightening to me. It's a place to say thank you. With the risk of looking narcissistic, this is one of my favorite gifties ever. A knitted me, so special. And yes, sometimes my life is glamorous and fabulous, but other times it's the simple pleasures that matter, however mundane. Literally, the best thing to happen to me all week. It's soft and hard and does the friggin' J-O-B. And it's there if you've had one of those days and you just want to share a picture of your dog licking its own butt. Now, Bellatrix had skills. She really did. She was a very talented American bulldog. We just had to put her down, but look at what she did. If I could do that, I would never leave my house. But in all seriousness, it's when something I've said or done makes a connection with someone out there in some small way and it helps them through a difficult situation or opens up someone's mind to, where before it had been closed. And I only find out because of Twitter, and that's when it all means something, and that's when I know that I'm doing something right. And this is from @EmberRay4677. What a beautiful, wonderful, strong, ethical woman you are. You are the voice of a million people who don't have the confidence or words to express how they feel. If everyone had the courage to be more like you, the world would be a much better place. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Don. @GR's Fendi Girl. I know you've heard it so many times the past few days, but honestly, thank you so much for taking the risk and making us feel seen. You started so many conversations with people who otherwise would be uneducated on the LGBT community. You made us proud. This is from Nicola A75. You're totally inspiring to me as I have MS and Hashimoto's, and I'm a single mom and was starting to give up a little. But seeing you up there everywhere, I'm going to try a little harder to be more for my girls. Love you. This one says, I'll miss you and Gio dancing together on Strictly. You represented far more than the LGBT community. You represented the women who at a certain age become invisible. You made us visible, and I thank you for that. Yes to the 50-plus women. Yes. Yes, we matter. From Sophie Elise 11, you make being me so much easier. It's surprising the amount of conversations at work. I'm a nurse. You being on Strictly has started. Thank you. And this one more. Michelle Visage has inspired me to finally get new glasses, and I can see! Yay! It's a miracle. Social media does sometimes get bad press and a bad rap, but I hope that I've proved that it really is down to us. It's down to the user. I am truly grateful for the love that I get on social media and Twitter in particular, because that's where I get to know each and every one of you. And I hope that I've given some back to you. So thank you so much for listening to me talk about Twitter, and let's try to change the world step by step for the better, because we have the power to do that. So let's do that together. Thank you so much.